Hi, my name's Stephen Haller and thanks for stopping by for this Management Minute. So I have a question for you today. Who likes surprises? I can hear a few of you say, I do. Let me tell you, you don't like surprises. You like the surprises that you like. The other ones you call disappointments or shocks. So you don't like those surprises, do you? You like the ones that you like. Well, guess who else doesn't like surprises? Your boss doesn't like surprises. Oh yes, he might be happy with ones when things are going well and you surprise him with a big order or whatnot. But let me tell you, he would rather be aware of what's happening. He certainly doesn't like the surprises when you missed out on a tender or miss out on a big order. So if you're having a good month, your boss likes to know. If you're not having a good month, then again, he'd rather be informed. Guess who else doesn't like surprises? The market doesn't like surprises. Again, either up or down. The market likes predictability. The other people, or the other group that likes predictability is employees. Employees like predictability. They like to know. If things are going well, let them know things are going well. And if things are not going well, again, keep them in the loop. They like to be informed. They really don't like surprises. And finally, members. Members of a membership organisation don't like surprises. If they're used to using a tool that's always been on the internet and all of a sudden they find it missing, that's not a surprise they like. They'd rather be informed on what's happening and why. So, what do you do about it if people don't like surprises? First of all, you identify who should be kept in the loop. So the first one is who. The second one is what is the key message? And the third one is communicate, communicate, communicate. So, if we look at that, who should be kept in the loop? And the easiest way is to sit down and think about who is going to be affected by these changes, or who could be affected by this information, or who's relying upon this information, or who's relying upon these changes, or who could be affected either positive or negative. And once you start looking, particularly both primary and secondary, you'll find that there's more people than you realised. And they could be individuals, they could be groups, they could be at distance, or they could be quite close. But think about all the groups and the individuals who will be affected by this particular change or this information. Secondly is about the key message. Determine what your key message is. Ideally no more than say 3 points, but as much as possible keep on message, keep on track. So determine your key message. And thirdly, communicate, communicate, communicate. And when you do that, think about all the different ways you can communicate. Think about the different modalities. So if you've sent it in writing, can you follow it up with a phone call? If you've followed it up with a phone call, can you send them to a video link, or can you put it in video? Can you give it to them in a report? You've got to remember that people think in different ways. Some people think in pictures, some people think in words, some people think in sounds. And you've really got to make sure that as you communicate, that you're actually entering their world. Entering their world as far as pictures, sound or words, but also the words you use. Make sure they're words that they would typically use. Right? Make sure the language is chosen very carefully so that the people who are receiving the message receive the message the same way that you, the sender, sent it. Also, think about your audience, and are they typically positive or negative? And possibly you might want to actually portray it in both ways. So towards the positive, present it as this will be a good thing, why? Or away from the negative, and that is that by doing this you'll avoid that particular pain, or you'll avoid that particular issue. So make sure you cover several different modalities. Make sure you cover several different ways of getting a message, and make sure you structure it in from several different angles. But again, communicate, communicate, communicate. When you think that you've communicated too much, you may have almost communicated enough. So it really is up to you, the sender, the holder of the information, to make sure that you communicate in several different ways until your audience is absolutely sure to be sure that they've got the message. And the last part of that is a check. Check for understanding. If it's a big group, then maybe you do a survey. If it's a smaller group, maybe you touch base and confirm that what you believe that was covered was in fact what they heard. Remember, people don't like surprises. Identify who should be kept in the loop, both primary and secondary. Identify what is the key message. And number 3 is communicate, communicate, communicate. Come from different angles and make sure that the audience or the person has actually understood. So again, my name is Stephen Haller. You can find me on LinkedIn. I appreciate you stopping by for this Management Minute. I look forward to meeting you in the future. Take care. Bye for now.